Welcome back to another video. This time it is the Athenians that I'm going to show off today. Some of them are mine, some of them are not mine. Like in the last video with the Spartans, the guys at the back there, they were from the same fellow I had the conversation with earlier, who kind of just gave me all of his stuff. But the front row stuff, all here, these are all mine. They're all, well, they're mainly Victrix, except for some of the key models which are from the Mortal Gods range here in the center. And they're really nice figures. I can't say enough about this stuff. The Mortal Gods range, they're based for. It's a really cool system, really thematic. You don't need a ton of forces. In fact, just the front row here or the back row back there is the only figures you really need for a pretty sizable game. So if you haven't checked it out, please do. It's Mortal Gods by, I can't remember if it's what the name of it is. Here, hold on, I'll try and figure it out. I think it's Footsore Miniatures. But anyway, we're just going to get a closer look. I'm going to move the camera here and get a closer look at the Athenians. The way I have them organized here is I didn't bother rebasing them when I bought them from the fella. He did a really good job, so I'm just going to leave them as is. So the front rank are going to be my foot soldiers for the land campaigns, and the back rank are going to be my Marines. So there's a subtle difference in color. Well, not subtle. One's blue, one's like a green teal. And yeah, let's get down and look at them on the table. So this is the command character. He is a named character. I don't remember his name exactly. I just know he's called the Defender. The same with the Spartan fella, who was called the Harvester. The Athenian general is called the Defender. I can't remember his first name. But the shields are the special shields that the Athenians come equipped with the cool looking owl on there. And you'll see he's not a Victrix figure. He's a metal figure from the Mortal Gods range. And he's really nice. Sorry for my big thumbs there. I'm trying to get as detailed of view as I can of him, but the cloak is awesome and he's just really nice. So that's the command figure. Here is one of my favorite figures in the entire range. It's this Athenian. He's the second in command. I think he's called a Prolokos or something like that. Anyway, he's got a spear and a shield. You can see the shield's got the same owl on it. But his pose is just so cool. And painted very basic. Once you have a good idea of how to do skin, everything else just seems to work out on most models. I find that if you can get the flesh and the skin looking right, the model doesn't matter how badly painted the tunics are. Here's the third guy, the third character. Now he's not quite as good a model as what I'm used to with the other figures. All the other metal figures are just outstanding models, and the figures themselves are just crazy good. This one here, I don't know what it is. It just has this weird pose that doesn't seem natural to me. It's weird. For some reason, I don't know why, this is the one I dislike the most. And that's hard, because it's still a really good figure. That's the third one. We'll go on to the light troops. Here is a stand of slingers. Very basic painted Victrix figures. Just a really quick paint job just to get them on the table, so nothing special there. I just found it was important so that you could tell them apart from the Spartan figures, just give them this nice pale blue color. We'll do the first set of 3 Spartan hoplites. Excuse my fingers here. Here's the first set of 3 Spartan hoplites, or it's not Spartans, Athenian hoplites. All Victrix again. Beautiful figures. Like the Victrix range of figures is just so good. I did buy the Warlord. Oops, sorry, I'm kicking the camera again. I did buy the Warlord Games figures, and I forget who made them originally, but Warlord Game did not make them originally. It was some other company, I can't remember. But I did buy them because I love hoplites, and I wanted to do a cheap hoplite army, and they were readily available all over the place. The Warlord Games ones, but they just don't look anything close to these. These ones just look like real sturdy men. Like, they're really good. So this is the second group. I mean, I don't think the Athenians would have a very uniformed look like what I have done, but on the table with the uniformed look of the Spartans and the uniformed look of the Athenians, I'll just bring a Spartan on the table here. You have to admit, when they're battling it out against one another, it looks good on the table, and that's what I went for. I went for a more uniformed look for the Athenians. Now, when I get to the not the mercenary hoplites, but when I get to the other Greek city-states, I didn't go for near as a uniformed look. So when you see them next to each other, when they're on the table, if you have the mercenary companies or the other allied cities companies to the left or the right of the line, you can tell who the professional troops are, who the Athenians are. And there's one figure in here. I always love the hoplites that don't have helmets on. Now look at this guy. This guy is the real deal. What an amazing face sculpt. Hopefully you agree, but I mean, it looks so good. This face you'll see on a few of my miniatures. I just really love it. There's that one, and then I'll just take in another one here where I painted his face is showing, but hopefully this comes through. Like, what's not to love about these figures? These are plastic figures, I think these plastic figures here, they look as good as the metal figures. Especially when you use these faces. Okay, that's that. Let's move on to, just pause the camera for a second while I move this out of the way and get on to the other characters. Before we move on to the last few characters, I just wanted to show you the archers that I have for this Athenians. Oops, I kicked the stand again. Wow, I'm terrible at this. I have the slingers, of course. Here they are here in the background. I have the slingers for the Athenians, but I also wanted to have a few archers. Now you can have these in a group of 3, or you can have them as two regular archers and one veteran. And the veteran has the kind of the metal facing on his helmet. And archers in the game, they're really neat the way that they work. Slingers are just as good, but archers, if you get the right dice rolling, obviously archers can be devastating against characters at low health. So as your characters are fighting it out, and let's say Memnon, the harvester here, whatever his name is, let's say he gets down to 1 wound left, a couple of archers shooting at him from a fair distance away, it's problematic to say the least, and it takes so long for this guy to get over there to cut them to pieces that they're extremely useful. More useful to me than slingers and javelin men in the game, but so I just decided to paint 3 of them for these Athenians. And now and last for my portion of the Athenians is we have the other special characters. In the game, you get to choose, and these are 3 characters. One's a healer, one's a mystic, and one's a musician. And each of the 3 of them give you general buffs in the game. Like a healer will give you, you can heal a wound. A mystic will let you pick an event, I think. I can't remember exactly. And the musician is for, re-rolling morale. He's got a little pipe there that he blows out of. And these figures, these are the mythic, or not mythic, well, I keep saying mythic. These are from the Footsore miniatures from the Mortal Gods range. They're not Victrix. They're all metal. And these can be used in any army. So I only decided to paint 1 of each, and I'm showing them in this army because typically the Spartans being such an expensive force, the Athenians usually come in a little bit underpointed. So usually we choose a couple of these figures to even out the points. So I'll just go through them one at a time. Here's the Mystic. Is it going to zoom in? And he's not a wizard, right? But you definitely get, let me get these guys out of the way. He's not a wizard, but you definitely get that kind of wizardy vibe out of him. He looks like a gnome, almost. Just really basic paint job. Make him look like a sort of like a garden gnome, but I think he looks really good. And it's a really cool figure, and it'd be so easy for a company to make this figure over the top and with crows all over him, or some sort of bird or something, or some sort of wild animal, or slitting the throat of a goat or something. They could have gone all those ways, but I really he's just got his weird little staff, looks like a sheep's hook, and he's just there throwing it up in the air. And to me, that's just that subtlety is really appreciated. Makes it seem a lot more historical versus fantasy. The next is the healer. So I'm trying something different tonight. I brought my camera way down close and my lighting way down close to see if I can get these figures better on the camera. So hopefully it's working out, but you're seeing my hands way too much. Anyway, here's the all-metal healer. And again, they could have made him seem, you know, really overblown, but I really like the subtlety that they made these figures. More so realistic looking. You know, and he's just there, I don't know what he's doing, throwing some herbs at a guy. I'm not sure what he's doing. But he's there. Like if you put I don't know, I was going to put a Spartan down on the ground next to him, but hey, it's just got a little bag. No knife or sword or anything, I don't think. No, just a bag of herbs or whatever it is that he has. And it's just a really nice figure. I really appreciate the subtlety of all these figures. And last we have the musician. He's probably the least impressive of them all, but they definitely went with a younger sculpt. He's blowing the, well, I'm not sure what the hell that flute's called, but it looks like a fork. And very basic paint job again. If you just know how to paint skin to your liking, it looks really good. And that is my version of the Athenians that I have. So, you know, I have the archers, I have the main characters. This is my favorite one here. And then I have the, where is he? This is the main character right there. So that's my Spartan, or sorry, my Athenians. Oh, stop kicking the phone. That's my Athenians. I'm just going to show you the ones that I got from the fella I spoke about yesterday. Okay, and here's the Athenians that I bought from the fella who was getting rid of his collection. I spoke about it in the last video and my Spartan video. These are his. He painted his as Marines versus me. I painted mine more of ground troops or Marines. But I am going to use these because he doesn't have the owl shields like I do. I'm going to use these guys for my foot soldiers on the land, and these guys are going to be my Marines because there is enough like Marine iconography here, like the boat and the trident back here. These are going to be my Marines, and they're a little bit more of an aqua color. Here is the same guy again, painted with brown hair with the open face. That model I love so much. I mean, look at that. It's so nice. Here's my version of him. And you can see them there. I don't know if that's going to zoom in on you there, but you can see the difference between our two styles. So they're really nice. He has this guy here. He chose to equip him with a sword versus mine. I chose mine to be with a spear. You know, there's no right way, no wrong way. I just happen to like the spear version better. That's why I chose it, but you can do whatever you want. So there's him, but he did some really nice work here on the helmet crest that I didn't even dare do. There's no way. His painting of the helmets is far superior to mine. And really nice. He did this one here as well. He put some feathers on him. Again, he did a lot more with the helmets. My guy has... I chose a spear again, and I didn't put the wings on his helmet, so his paint job on these guys are far superior to mine, I think. But, I mean, look at the deckling is really nice, and really nice paint job there. And then he has these archers, the same as I do, but he has his on a base, and he went to the extra work of putting string on his, and he put the string and put an arrow on the bow. Put some extra work into the actual the linen armor. Really nice. And then these are just two Marine bases with where they just throw javelins. You know, they don't have the long spears like these guys do. These guys have short spears, or javelins, I guess. And that's that. That's his versus mine. They're both in my collection, and I'm going to find a use for them both. And I'll be back in just a second with the overall look. So that's the Athenian force. My force is flanked by the ones that I bought from the fella. And I hope you appreciated this, or to give you a look of, or some ideas of what you can do for your own forces or whatnot. I mean, I'm not going into the games in great detail because I'm really just showcasing my models for the games, not really the games themselves. I might do that in other videos later on down the line. But right now I'm just kind of like going through my basement and picking up the stuff that hasn't been seen in a long time, and I just want to show them off. And part of that, as I explained in my last video, was because of the ordeal that I had. Not ordeal, that's the wrong word. The exchange that I had with this fella here who sold me these. I don't know his name, I don't know where he came from. Somewhere local, I think, but he seemed like he wanted out of the hobby completely. And I completely understand why, I think. I have my suspicions, my ideas of why he wanted out. And to avoid me going down the same hole where I just got rid of everything that I had, I thought I'd lay them all out on the table and show them off, post them to YouTube, just to see them again and get some use out of them. Like once I'm done with these, they go right back in their box, and they go in stacks. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of these boxes, just one on top of the other on top of the other, and the models are probably not seen for about 4 years. So that's why I'm doing this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have you got inspired by something, or if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Again, this is my Athenians for the game Mortal Gods by Footsore Miniatures. Pretty sure. Okay, bye-bye.